Good day, everyone. Today we will be talking about banknotes of Saint Pierre and Miquelon, a territory of France found off the coast of Newfoundland, for this inaugural episode on my channel. This new channel where I'll be talking about a few banknotes that I own and get into interesting discussions about them. So let's start off with the lowest denomination issued in the entire series, the 5 franc note. Here we go. It's a rather small note. It's not compared to the rest of the series, which we'll get to in a second. On the front, we have Louis Antoine Comte de la Bougainville. He was a French naval officer. You can see his portrait there, looking quite good. These banknotes have a very artistic design to them. If you look at the standard notes issued by, let's say, the British, their notes are more formal. These are more like pieces of art on a piece of paper. These notes were originally issued for Equatorial Africa in the 1940s, but somehow ended up in Saint Pierre and Miquelon and a few other territories like Guyana and Reunion. And we'll get to Reunion because I also have one from there. But we'll start off with Saint Pierre and Miquelon today. So on the front, beside Bougainville, we have a ship here, which looks to be off the African coast. It has a very African design to it. At the top we have Caisse Centrale de la France d'Outre-mer, which was the issuing authority. Basically, they issued banknotes for France's smaller external provinces and territories, and this being one of them. We can see in the top here and the bottom here, we have Saint Pierre and Miquelon overstamped on the original design. That's the serial number here, and this is the more casual serial number and the print block. The watermark, if you can see it any bit, I believe it's to be ships, but I'm not too sure as it's hard to see the watermark on this banknote compared to others. Yeah, that's for the front, and we also have the printers and designers of these notes. On the back, we have a very tropical African scene with a native woman and fruits, as well as a very colonial-looking African house surrounded by jungle. Supposedly a farm, it looks like, and mountains and palm trees and tropical scenery in the background. Once again, we have Caisse Centrale de la France d'Outre-mer, Saint Pierre and Miquelon at the top there. And on French notes, they all have this l'article 139 du Code pénal punit des travaux forcés, ceux qui auront contrefaçon, falsifie les billets banque autrice par la loi, basically. The 139 code basically saying you can't counterfeit these banknotes. That's basically all it is. The back of the note is quite plain. Also got the printing names there in the two corners. And on the back the 5 is in blue and the front it's red. It's a rather small banknote. I don't know if you can see it. It's quite small. It's still a very nice banknote. Now going up in the series we have the 100 franc. This was issued about the same time, but this was issued a bit later on because this has a counter value, contre-value de 2 nouveaux francs, or 2 new francs, because I guess they redenominated all their notes. The front, very African design. We have this fine gentleman, Bertrand François Mahe de la Bourdonnais. He was also a French naval officer. He did work in that field. And we have a semi-naked African native woman and a tribal outfitted native woman, surrounded by cornucopia of fruits and a few shields and a very Caribbean and African design, because I guess it was issued for both. Once again with the serial number, the block number, and then the casual serial number. The watermark is of Marianne, basically what France is represented by a woman. We also have palm trees and a coastal scene in the back. On the back of the note we have a woman, more looking like a woman of the Caribbean than that of the African descent. We have, once again, Caisse Centrale de la France d'Outre-mer, Saint Pierre and Miquelon. This is overstamped. In other territories they stamp, like Guyana, they stamp Guyana, like that. But this one just has it overstamped like this. Saint Franc. Let's get the watermark. We have a very this looks a lot like Reunion. Reunion is very, well, mountainous and rocky because it's a volcanic island. So it looks a lot like that, but could be somewhere in Africa, maybe Cameroon. Once again with the printing code thing. Same story, same print basically. This note's a bit bigger. It's not too big, but it's quite large. French notes tend to be a little bit large. It's a nice note though. Let's see there. That's all I got to talk about today with these notes. Maybe I'll get some more in the future. They tend to be quite pricey. I'll look at the 10 and the 20 franc note. I got these a good deal a while back. I think they're good notes. But that will be all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed and look out for episode 3 and 4 and 2 coming up. I didn't know why I said it in a bad order, but sure. And I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye.